Different from the other pastors, Joel Osteen doesn't live that much of a humble life. On the contrary, he is a televangelist with a net worth of a whopping $100 million. What does he do with all that wealth, you may ask yourself? Stay with us and find out how Joel Osteen spends his millions. Joel once stated that he's not ashamed at all for all the assets he possesses, but when it comes to showing his houses and the belonging inside, he's not that eager about it. That doesn't exclude the fact that Osteen's mansion is one of the most costly possessions of all. When Oprah asked him if he made any apologies for his grand piano, he said that he really doesn't. And he added that he feels it is God's blessing to have all these things.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with having a nice place to live and being blessed.
He and his family possess a 5,600 square foot house located in the Tanglewood neighborhood of Houston, Texas, which cost them $2.9 million. When they decided to relocate, they didn't even put the first house on sale. As Osteen states, we can conclude that he's really blessed due to his first mansion, but when it comes to the second one he purchased, you can understand how fortunate he actually is. It was reported by Culture Map that he, together with his family, moved into a 17,000 square foot stone mansion in River Oaks and reportedly paid $10.5 million in 2010. The River Oaks stone land possesses one-of-a-kind lavish features which are placed all across the vast mansion. It has a huge 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and on top of that they have even 5 open wood fireplaces, not 1, not 2, but 3 elevators, a huge bedroom guest house, and if that wasn't enough, the place has a huge pool and believe it has its own pool house. The place is known to have an enormous front door decorated with astonishing stone pillars. It opens into a magnificent entranceway. The mansion features an enormous backyard surrounded by huge green trees that are there to make the space even more private and special. What's more, they have a large gray concrete driveway that is created to fit possibly over 20 cars. That's actually a perfect spot for his furious Ferrari. And yes, he has a Ferrari, about which we're going to talk about later in the video, so stay with us. The place occupies an enormous 1.86 acres. For his safety and to make it seem more private, they surrounded the palace by a large and extravagant ornamental fence. It looks like more of a mega mansion than just an ordinary house where only 4 people live there, but who cares? This man can afford whatever he wants, and this mansion is nothing compared to all the things he possesses. In one interview, he said, "It's a battle we have to fight, but it's interesting how people usually know who's sincere and who's not over time," he added. "We don't ask for money, and people send in millions of dollars to help us keep the broadcast on the air, and so it's an interesting thing."
I'm not asking them for money on television. I'm not trying to, don't try to be slick. I try to be...
He and his wife have written around 18 different books. Some of the books are written on their own and some are written together. "We don't take a salary from the ministry," he said for him and Victoria, who also serves as Lakewood's co-senior pastor. Then he added, "About 5 years ago when I wrote my first book, Your Best Life Now, 7 Steps to Living at Your Full Potential, I never dreamed it would sell millions of copies. The wealth comes from that." And on that he added, "We're big givers. We live what we preach. We've given millions of dollars and I don't think there's anything wrong with having a nice place to live and being blessed. Money should never be the focus of your life. If that's all you're doing, that's shallow. It should be a blessing to others."
Your best life now?
Yeah, but it comes from that. We don't take a salary. It comes from books.
Helming a megachurch is obviously a huge bonus, even when you don't get the pastor's salary. Unlike most of the pastors all around the world that are actually living quite the opposite life of the life Osteen is enjoying, he makes tons of money and chooses the best location he can for his living space, and that's in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the world. With his enormous wealth, he is expected to be humanitarian, especially due to his profession. And in 2017, when Hurricane Harvey destroyed a lot of properties and it devastated Houston, the crowd expected him to help around that case. They actually thought he would invite people into his 606,000 square foot Lakewood Church for shelter. He gave them a late response, and he, of course, was judged and criticized for his hesitation. But let's now get back and see what this man actually possesses and what he is spending his enormous fortune on. Reports state that his house is immensely full with lavish vehicles. Osteen enjoys driving his Ferrari 458 Italia. And while he may have all the fortune one can only imagine, he never brags about it, but people that follow and admire him reveal everything he doesn't have the guts to. Why talk about it when others can do it for him, right? The Houston Chronicle stated, an associate pastor at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church bought his wife a $200,000 Lamborghini Urus. Can you imagine that? He is not playing small at all, and this is one of the most expensive gifts ever. And who knows if he only buys this expensive vehicle for a gift. Can you imagine how many other cars he possesses in his garage that we don't have a clue of? No one knows. That's only between him and his garage. Now, even though Osteen looks quite old-fashioned when he shows up on his Sunday services, he may look simple, but he wears designer suits that cost a fortune. One USA Today said his expansive-looking suit contrasts with the biblical directive to eschew wealth and care for the least of these. When you take a look at his Instagram, you can notice that this is a person that is very rarely caught not looking smart. Even though it is not a sin to at all to dress well, we can for sure say that his wardrobe cost him a fortune. Believe it or not, though, as a pastor, it is not quite often seen to have the mindset of being okay with doing plastic surgeries due to the fact that God made us perfect in His image, and we do not need to make ourselves bigger than Him and change what He actually intended for us to look like. But this pastor doesn't care at all. Even once when he was asked a question on this topic, he proudly stated, "I want to look good." On top of that, due to one specialist, he officially had some work done to make his dream a reality, or more precisely, to look good. The plastic surgeon Dr. Otto Plakic in 2017 said to National Enquirer, "Joel looks 5 years younger than he did 11 years ago. You couldn't even see his upper eyelid line 12 years ago, and now you can clearly see the upper liner skin increase. So if he had plastic surgeries, then how much did that cost him?" We all know that plastic surgeries are worth a fortune, and Plakic calculated that it cost him around $36,000. Private jets are expensive toys that cost a lot and are very hard to manage and take a lot of time and money. But is that something Osteen should be concerned about? Of course not. He can afford whatever he wants with the fortune he enjoys, so it wasn't a problem at all to get himself one of these machines. He not only owns one, but throws money on a regular basis using it as a means of transport. Due to Aircraft Compare, he owns a $86 million Airbus A319. This Airbus represents one of the fastest ones a man can afford. In one interview with the famous Piers Morgan, he said that he is humble and not at all ashamed of his wealth, stating, "There is something that says we have to be poor and broken and defeated and sad in order to show people that we are really humble and that we really love God. And I don't believe that our money is a blessing to others." He even once added, "I don't think we have to apologize for God's blessings, but money is not the focus of our lives. It never has been." But does his lavish lifestyle say the same? Besides his properties and owning, he loves spending money on traveling. When his wife was once asked about their favorite family vacation, she said Beaver Creek, Colorado. That's a lot of fun because we do so many outdoor activities. We ride bikes together or ride the gondolas and the ski lifts, go rafting together, and watch fireworks together. We do a lot of outdoor activities. We usually travel with our in-laws and we've got lots of family there. We're all hanging out and having a good time. It is obvious that they spend a lot of money traveling, especially in places surrounded by vast nature. She also said that traveling is one of the most important things in life, adding, "I think it's important for everyone to travel. It just opens your eyes. We've been able to experience a lot of different places and meet a lot of different people. It's very educational. It's great if you can do it. If we didn't travel as a job, I would really want to set destinations to take our children." Joel was also spotted on vacation in one of the most lavish and luxurious places in the world, Hawaii, with his daughter. On a related note, we wanted to know which part was your favorite one from our video. You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.